I don't advocate any kind of hate.
Today I have decided to completely go out of my way to pay Malcolm X Little, aka Alhaji Malik Shabazz, a visit at his burial site. If we are meeting today for the first time, I would like to welcome you guys to my channel and thank you so much for watching. But you may ask, why are you even visiting Malcolm X? Why is it important? Who is even Malcolm X? Those are very relevant questions. Malcolm X meant the world to me. When I was a young teenager who was confused, upset, and lacked purpose, his autobiography literally changed my perspective in life and how I view this world. As a 10th grader in high school who struggled academically and really hated reading because I thought it was difficult and boring. But when I discovered the autobiography of Malcolm X book, it literally changed everything. I was absolutely obsessed with this book and dedicated almost every free time I had towards reading this book voluntarily. It wasn't a school assignment or anything like that. And keep in mind, at this time I had a language barrier and had very bad vocabulary. But about 14 months prior to discovering this book, I just had came back to the United States from West Africa, Senegal. I was learning English as a second language, and while reading, I had a dictionary with me and a pen, notebook, and also a highlighter. I highlighted everything that was new and looked up almost 60% of the words in this book because my vocabulary was very low and almost everything was completely new to me. But despite this inconvenience, I was absolutely determined to read every single day and often staying up late until about 2 a.m. He was born in 1925 and died in 1965. He was an African-American revolutionary, a Muslim minister, and a human rights activist who was a prominent figure during the civil rights movement. Some may know him as an intellect, a visionary, a academic, a speaker, and a thinker of the 20th century. Some may even also say he was a radical and a racist and a terrorist. But I would say he was very passionate about empowering Black African Americans. He did this by fostering a racial pride and self-reliance and self-defense, advocating for their rights and liberation through various means. He initially did this as a leading figure in the Nation of Islam, emphasizing Black nationalism and separation from white society. But later he shifted towards a more international and human rights approach after his pilgrimage to Mecca. I had always wanted to go to his burial site, but today just so happened to be the day that I decided to go, as Malcolm X always say, by any means necessary. Growing up in Senegal, it was very common to see our national leaders and our spiritual leaders to be buried in a manner in which they continue to be commemorated, remembered, and honored for the work they had done. And I had expected nothing less when I decided I was going to go visit his gravesite. I'm gonna give you an example. Meet Serigne Touba, who was a Sufi saint and a Muslim religious leader in Senegal. He is the founder of the Murid Brotherhood. He produced poems and tracts and meditation, ritual works, and Quranic daily studies. He led the Pacific struggle against French colonial empire, traveling across the Atlantic Ocean, while not waging outright war on the French, like several prominent Tijani Marabout had done. But when I came and saw Malcolm X buried in the general population like any average citizen, it was very difficult to even find where he was even buried. It disappointed me because I felt that he deserved much more respect and recognition. This is what they want most people to remember him as: an African American who was a former criminal and who lived an average life, and one who was a controversial figure who they accused of preaching violence. He deserved much more credit and recognition for the work he had done, especially for his pursuit of racial justice and the time he dedicated towards educating his people about the importance of having a spiritual connection with God. My friends, let's not forget, Malcolm X was a transformative figure who significantly impacted the world by challenging the existing civil rights movement. He promoted Black empowerment and advocated for human rights on a global scale. His evolution from the Nation of Islam as a spokesperson to a human rights activist, broadening the scope of the Black liberation struggle, and inspired movement for social and political change worldwide. Today, I show my respect by performing a special prayer, or dua we may say as Muslims. Qul huwallahu ahad, Allahu samad. We believe this will aid him in his gravesite and make his resting more peaceful. During this prayer, I also ask Allah to forgive him all of his sins. And this prayer also brings a spiritual connection between me and Malcolm X. We love you so much, brother Malcolm X, and we hope that you rest in peace. My friends and family, I truly hope that you enjoyed this segment, and thank you so much for rocking with me. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't yet so you don't miss out on any future upload. Comment what you think about this video or any thoughts that you may have. Please give this video a thumbs up for the algorithm. And as always, I appreciate you and hope to see you on the next one. Peace.